Welcome to Suman iTTV, India's first and only exclusive, truly dedicated to students, employees, software professionals, where you can learn, unlearn new things, upgrade your skill set, educate, empower in IT-enabled services. వెల్కమ్ టు సుమన్ ఐటీటీవీ టెక్ టాక్స్. ఈరోజు మనం సీరియల్ ఆంటర్ప్రినర్ కోలాబెరీ ఎండి ఆఫ్ ఇండియా ప్రైవేట్ లిమిటెడ్ రామ్మోహన్ గారితో ఉన్నాం. ఈరోజు మనం ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ గురించి తెలుసుకుందాం రామ్మోహన్ గారి నుంచి. హలో అండి, వెల్కమ్ టు అవర్ షో.
హలో అండి.
సో ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ మీ జర్నీ ఏంటి, అసలు ఈ కోలాబెరీ కంపెనీ దీని గురించి చెప్పండి.
I started my journey in 1993 as a system integrator. Soon after completion of my master's in computer engineering. So I did a BTech electronics and communication, and then postgraduate diploma in computer engineering at JNT University. So then, so I haven't worked anywhere. I just jumped into a business as an entrepreneur. So that point of time, during our PG program, I learned, how to troubleshoot the computers, computer repair, computer servicing, all those things that, we learned as a part of the course. So we used to get the technicians and scientists from ECIL, the Electronics Corporation of India Limited, to the our JNTU Masab tank place, and they used to teach us how to troubleshoot this. So that's got interest in me, and then that was a time where people were talking about PCs, personal computers, and systems గురించి మాట్లాడుతుండేవాళ్ళు. సో దెన్ ఐ థాట్ వై డోంట్ వి స్టార్ట్ ఏ ఐటీ కంప్యూటర్ సర్వీసెస్ అండ్ సేల్స్ యాక్టివిటీ, అండ్ దట్స్ హౌ ఐ స్టార్టెడ్ మై జర్నీ యాజ్ సిస్టమ్ ఇంటిగ్రేటర్. సో దెన్ obviously once I started as a single man entity, and then a diploma engineer joined with me. I taught him how to service the computers and all. And then my university was my first client, because they were having because those days the mostly the computers educational institutions, universities, and the research organizations and large business entities, they only can afford to have a computers those days, and some mid-sized companies as well. And the university, then they were requiring some few computer peripherals, where there's one of the professor asked me, after this, what you want to do after the course. I said, I want to do the business. So then he said, we have a problem here, so why don't you solve the problem?
Okay.
So that's how I started, and then they were requiring few computer the peripherals, which I procured and supplied, and then eventually I started supplying to the others, and troubleshooting computers, and this is how I started. After couple of years, I became a one of the leading computer servicing and system integrator in the Hyderabad, and then I used to supply to all the universities and educational institutions and research institutions, supplying assembled computers. And also those days there were companies like Digital Equipment, Compaq, IBM and HP, and then the printers they are Epson. So I took the dealership of those the products, and I was supplying these computers and computer peripherals and support services to the all these education institutions, small and medium companies, and research institutions. And these things we were doing till almost 93 to 96, 97.
Okay.
So we were doing this system integration business.
Okay.
So then in 96, 97, after these IT systems supply, so then I thought why can't I start, because those days these all software companies have started in Hyderabad, and started developing a IT products and services for the exports to the US as well as in India itself. They were doing a lot of building projects and programs for the industries. So So then I thought, okay, fine, let me get into a training, and then I started a first Java training center in Hyderabad in '96.
Oh.
So it was quite successful. We have trained several hundred people, and people who have got trained in our institute, got the the placements quickly, and that was a journey during '96 and '97. So that point of time, I have another friend, who was a scientist in ECL. So he just started a IBM mainframe training in '97 during '98. So because IBM mainframe training was a simulated software training program, so because there was a lot of demand, Y2K, there was a problem called Y2K, year 2000,
Yeah.
especially in the banking sector. So people were requiring a lot of COBOL and simulation software developers to fix the Y2K problem. So he came out and with that idea, why can't we start a IBM mainframe training center on a simulated software, and then there is a lot of demand for that. So I joined with his name is Mr. Raju, LVS Raju. I joined with him. He was an ex ECL scientist. I joined with him, and we started IBM mainframe training center. It was a big success. So Subraju could, Subraju and we could train several thousand people on Y2K, and lot of companies like those days, like Patni Computers, and even Mahindra British Telecom,
Okay.
Infosys, or the erstwhile Sachem Computer Services used to come to the private training centers like us, uh, do a
To
campus
hire.
recruitment.
Okay.
So it gave a lot of push for our growth trajectory, and
And what about this Colaberry?
so Colaberry is a actually is a founder is Mr. Ramdan Yadav Katabraja, is based out of Boston. I recently associated with them to for their, they wanted to start their India operations. I joined with them in helping building a team in India. So Colaberry is by and large is a data science consulting and services company, and they have a training school in Dallas where they train African Americans and veterans, where they will not have a prior computer science or data knowledge. We empower with them data skills, and get them trained on this, and they will get employed in US, and
Acha.
most of them are the US citizens, and they are all US. It was quite successful. For that Colaberry got several international awards for empowering them to make six figure salaries and like that.
Oh, okay. So coming to the point, sir, first of all, what is the AI history? What is AI?
AI is like is a artificial intelligence, because AI was first coined a term in 1956 by John McCarthy. Okay, those days so they have after that in 1956, after he coining the artificial intelligence, so they developed a programming language called Lisp. Lisp is the primary, the programming language to build the AI related, work. It was, very primitive on those days, because basically it was built on a rule based, applications, because the computing power was not, that good, and AI could not take, big leap forward those, days. And in 70s and 80s, it evolved slowly, because the computing power and resources required for processing AI related solutions, it was requiring a lot, because large companies and defense establishments only are governments could afford to have that huge investments. So AI, because of that, AI, could not get a much
Okay.
push.
Acha.
Yeah. So then later, so in after if you look at the evolution of human, especially the industrialization, human civilization. So when industrial revolution started, it started with a so one is mainly the industrial revolution is internal combustion engines. That was one invention that made progress of the industrial revolution. And then so before that they were called like the mechanization or this electricity and building the more or like uh, machineries, big machineries in spinning mills, where they can do the mass production of cloth and all. And then later, then the computers, 80s, 70s and 80s, and then internet.
Okay.
So this was the total evolution of the industrialization or industrial revolution. Started this the machines, and then internal combustion engines were made cars and automobiles to move, and then computers to automate, and the jobs of repetitive jobs or spreadsheet and word processing, and then internet so made a revolution. This was one era, and the next era is the AI, artificial intelligence. So yeah.
In this artificial intelligence, what are the core components?
Artificial intelligence is a simulation of human intelligence in a machine that programmed to think and learn.
Okay.
So here, what happens, so we are, teaching the machine how to think and do the, whatever the task that, we instruct the computer to do it. So it will think, and also it will have a capability of learning as well. As humans, so because unless until we learn something, we would not be able to deliver or produce or do something, because anything any skill like for an artist or an engineer or a civil engineer or a mechanical engineer, so you need to acquire a lot of skills. So like that, we'll also instruct the or program the computer how to learn as well. So this is called artificial intelligence. So where it is simulating the human intelligence.
Okay.
And to the machine to think and learn. And if you look at in AI, there are a lot of subsets are there in artificial intelligence. You say, so people talk about machine learning, and then is natural language processing, NLP, and then about robotics. So these are all like subsets of artificial intelligence. So machine learning is nothing but you give a data to the a machine, and and also machine will train, and on the algorithms, you give an algorithm, on that algorithms, machine will take the data, it will train and perform certain task independently with the various like supervised learning or unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. These are all part of our this one. Like that, the machine also will follow these techniques to do it. And when it comes to the natural language processing, is nothing but so you are giving a sets of natural how machine can understand the language of a human language, and then it will translate, and it performs certain tasks like nowadays if you want in Google, there is a Google translator is there.
Yeah.
Okay, if you give Telugu to
It will
you
translate
want it
into
in
any language.
Hindi, any language it will translate.
Yeah.
It is nothing but natural language processing. It comes under natural language processing. So translators and then our any other content needs to be generated.
Yeah.
All those things is part of natural language processing. Robotics.
Mm.
Robotics, like you see anyway, today in our day-to-day life, you will find even for like in house cleaning machine for house cleaning, use a small robot. It will go around the whole
Yeah.
home and it will clean all these things. And it is instructed. So you construct and design a machine such a way that where the repetitive tasks can be handled, because the okay, if you hire a maid, every day she will come and he or she will sweep the. It is a repetitive task. Instead of hiring the human, you can you can buy a device, a robot that will repeat. You can instruct every day morning at 6 o'clock. You clean my room. It will go and you switch on. It will go and clean, collect all the dust and keep it, and then. It is a part of the robotics. And deep learning is another set of
Okay.
subset of artificial intelligence. So deep learning even more complex problems so can be solved by the deep learning. Deep learning is nothing but voice recognition.
So right now that voice recognition already we are using in our lives, right?
Yes, then a lot of, because you see in day-to-day life, many gadgets have come where they can by recognizing your voice, you can open your phone or your computer, or you can instruct. So all those voice recognition is a deep learning, because they have a complex neural network layered models are built into it. So some days the deep learning can can see, smell, and recognize voice. So all those things can be done by deep learning.
Including the Face ID?
Yeah, face recognition. Face recognition also is a part of deep learning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this AI, so what is the technologies and the tools?
See, in AI, there are if you can look at in AI, basically today R and Python is a programming language is
Okay.
being used to build the applications in AI or building AI products. And there are like frameworks like TensorFlow, and then there's another scikit-learn kind of a products are there. So where it'll help you to build the applications. And then there are large if you look at the platforms, like there are a couple of platforms like Amazon has got a SageMaker, the platform, and Google AI platform is there, and Azure, they have their own platform, and companies like IBM and all, they have a built-in suits and AI suits by using Watson, IBM Watson. You can build. I mean, these are the technologies are being used in developing AI solutions for the our day-to-day life, or
Life,
for
yeah.
the.
So what is the impact on people and business through this AI?
So today, if you look at the on the people, if you look at today, even right from our mobile phone,
True.
okay, and even if you go to a supermarket, so on the shelf, you'll find a lot of products are being AI enabled, or even the supermarkets, to fill the those the products, they use a lot of AI algorithms, or even for our commuting in a day-to-day commuting. If you wanted to go to from Jubilee Hills to Madhapur, you will check in the Google route map and see which is the optimum route to reach Madhapur, so without much effort or traffic congestion. So it is in our day-to-day life for the commuting, so we are using. And if you are watching any for OTT platforms, so automatically it will recommend you on your the behavior of what kind of content that you are viewing. So based on that, it will automatically recommend you. It's like a recommendation engine. It's nothing but AI. So
Okay.
in the people everywhere, so AI is penetrating like anything. In businesses, the applications are enormous. So because if you take healthcare for so many of the
Surgeries, so
uh,
many.
not surgeries, like if you look at like scanning for the images and MRIs. So based on the AI system can read the image of the scan or X-ray or MRI scan, and can tell what is in it,
What it is.
what it is, and more accurately, and it will help the radiologist more effectively. So radiologists can take the help of AI to come with 100% perfect prediction, a perfect solution what the disease to find the because why we use these things are for diagnostic purposes. And then healthcare applications, patient outcomes, patient diagnosis, patient health plans, predictive you can suppose say what is going to happen to prevent any ailment, so you can predict what is disease that can impact your life and all. These predictions, these AI systems are doing in a big way in
Accurate
healthcare.
than human being,
Yeah,
you're saying,
yeah,
right?
accurate than human being. In business, it is a one healthcare industry vertical. So apart from healthcare, if you look at the manufacturing, in the
Okay.
manufacturing, where the inventory, or predicting how much inventory that you need to produce this one, or quality control.
Okay.
So because because these AI systems can do a better quality control than human. It will help the humans to manage good quality control. And the logistics supply chains because it disrupted in a big way in a supply chain. And retail, yeah, it's a retail is because today in the retail, once you walk into any store, or are you searching something on Amazon or a Flipkart, so it will give you automatic personalized recommendations will come. This product for your budget, this product, this quality, and you have multiple products are there, so it will compare and recommend for your need.
Need.
So in the retail is making a big revolution. AI really in the people as well as businesses, it is revolutionizing like anything.
Do you suggest the people who are into the business or daily lifestyle to learn some skill about the AI, or if they are not learning anything, upgrading their skill, what will happen to them?
No, it's like see, like if you see the whole uh, our evolution of our civilization. So even if you go back to 40, 50 years, so because they're all commoditized. Because earlier we used to have a gramophone, then
Gramophone to
gramophone,
tape.
and then gramophone to the radio. You have tape, you have TVs, and you have smart TVs here, and you have mobile. On mobile, you have
Yeah,
everything. So now AI has been commoditized. It's not necessary that you have to know the in and out of AI to use it, because AI is pretty much democratized and also commoditized. So because like any our mobile phone, how we use it for various applications, AI has become a part of it, and you never know that we are using AI unless until you really get into those. So in day-to-day life, it's not necessary that you need to have a in-depth knowledge about
Yeah, yeah.
AI and all. But if you have a general knowledge and how to use it, and what are the implications, and there are a lot of security is there, and authenticity, and there are a lot of other factors are there. And then you'll have to see the ethical behavior of the systems. So all those things to do it, or to use the AI more effectively, we should know by and large what is AI and how it is going to impact our life, and what is the technology behind it, and how we can use it for a good, and how this AI is being use it for a bad, like deep fake and all. That's how it's used for a
So
ill
having a
purpose.
knowledge is good,
Is always
is
good.
better.
It's always good to have a knowledge.
Okay. So can you please explain in a few case studies how we can using the AI or already using?
If you look at today, many of the industries, primarily you can look at the healthcare, examples of what I've mentioned earlier. So we have actually we have built a small application for thyroid
Test.
disease detection
Okay.
and dosage prediction.
Mm.
Okay, so we worked with super specialty doctors,
Okay.
and then we have taken 25,000 images of the patient data where
Okay.
their thyroid scanned image we have taken, and then so we can predict what is the stage of thyroid it is, and
Okay.
then if there is a likelihood of the thyroid lumps are going to be cancerous lumps, then we can do the early detection, and also we can predict how much dosage of drug that can be administered by the patient.
Patient.
See, normally what happens in most of the cases, because of the doctors, the experience, and because the super specialist, they spent almost close to 50 to 20 years of their prime time in learning all those things, and they will see the several thousand patients, and they'll come to a conclusion depending upon the various parameters, and based on that they do a test, and they'll prescribe the medicines.
Okay.
So when they prescribe the medicine, most of the times what happens, they'll try to see that okay, fine, this is the dosage, 10 mg dosage that can be, they will prescribe first 10 mg, and then later in the next subsequent visit, what they will do, whether see the once again they'll test and the thyroid got reduced or not. They will see it, and based on that they will adjust. So more or like a trial and error method will be there. Most of the doctors, but it will not impact the patient, the health. But with this tool, what happens, the doctors will get a better visibility of how much dosage that we can prescribe to the patient. So it's more accurate, and it's like it will not replace the doctor, but it will help the doctor and aid the doctor to treat the patient more accurately and diagnose and prescribe the required drug with a perfect dosage. This is one kind of use case in healthcare.
Healthcare.
Then you look at in agriculture. So we, because we do a lot of because there are a lot of numerous use cases are there.
Okay.
These use cases which have done by us in agriculture segment. In agriculture, so what we did. So we took two widely used vegetable plants. So one is tomato, another is potato.
Okay.
So tomato, that so it's and potato, without potato, no India, no world as such. So we have, because it is largely grown by the farmers, and most of the times the farmers are get impacted because of the various diseases, and the yield will get reduced, and then by the time they realize that they put pesticides and all, so they lose their crop and the harvesting time and all. So what we did, we have taken we created a system such a way that all the tomato plant and potato plant, what are the various diseases that can impact those plants, and what are the various the remedies or pesticides that can be used to prevent that disease, and which can increase the yield of that one. So we use the image processing, and then
Okay.
we studied several that images across several thousand acres of that tomato farm,
Farms and all. Okay.
this one, and then so we analyzed it, and then we give a right solution to the farmer. Okay, fine, your tomato plant has got such and such disease, you use this pesticide so that, because these now, if you look at, so now many of the organizations are, not only, it's not, it's a generic solution. It's being used, the many companies, they're doing, and, farmers are using for various applications like this. And this is one such a use case in the artificial intelligence.
So, briefly, we'll talk about the Chat GPT as well. So, while using the Chat GPT, we need to know how to instruct Chat GPT, or it is just a casual one?
ChatGPT is also a subset of an artificial intelligence. See, ChatGPT has built a system with a very large data sets, and the programming, because ChatGPT was started launched in 2022, just 2 years ago. So within 5 days, they've got a million users subscribed to the ChatGPT. So that is the kind of a revolution are made by the generative AI. It's called ChatGPT is nothing but a generative AI solution. So, and which even like Instagram or Spotify is a music streaming.
Music,
So
podcast.
the large platform.
Yeah.
So took one Instagram took 75 days to reach 1 million subscribers, and Spotify took 150 days to reach this one. So that is the popularity of this Chat GPT. So Chat GPT is a AI system which is as largely consists of huge large data sets, and can create a content from not from the historical data. The content is created creatively, like humans.
Okay.
So, and it is doing deep learning models, and neural network models are being used building Chat GPT. And what you need to do is for any information, right from text to image to voice, everything today can take the all the inputs and the process it, and and mimic the human intelligence and come out with more creative way, either it's a text or an image or any subject. So because the Chat GPT whole algorithm is fed with whatever the information is available for the human mankind in this world. It was fed into the whole system, and the languages, and the grammar rules, and the creative thinking.
So whatever the
calculator,
information mankind needs, that will
so
give
it
to us.
can give, and so what you need to do is you have to, there is a called prompt. Okay, in that prompt you have to put a specific prompt to get the required results. So there are like several prompt engineers are there, and then there several prompts are there. How to ask the question, how to get the more information.
How
from,
to ask the correct
ChatGPT.
question to in the Chat
Yeah,
GPT
Chat GPT to get the more this one.
more accurate
So now,
answer.
Today you have it can generate even code also, because it is it is improving the productivity of the organizations like anything. So software company, and then it is you can integrate, and it can use it as a Chat GPT, chatbots. So all those things are so Chat GPT is really a wonderful application of artificial intelligence, and more so nowadays commoditized and democratized artificial intelligence, because it is now on everybody's hand.
Thank you so much, sir. It is a wonderful information about artificial intelligence and ChatGPT. Thanks so much for sharing this experience with us.
Thank you very much.
సో చూసాం కదండి, ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్లో ఎన్ని రకాలు ఉన్నాయి, ఎక్కడెక్కడ యూజ్ అవుతున్నాయి, అగ్రికల్చర్ నుంచి సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఇంజనీర్స్ దాకా ఈరోజు ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ని యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారని చెప్తున్నారు. ఈ వీడియో కనుక మీకు నచ్చినట్లయితే కింద కామెంట్ సెక్షన్లో కామెంట్ చేయండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. స్టే ట్యూన్.